Hello and welcome. This is Teresa, Craftygrams, here in the craft lair with what I hope to be the final episode of, excuse me, of our current start to finish trifold folio from Monica Seacos. So, I have, as you may or may not know, I have a hard time understanding from the video these double waterfalls. Okay, and part of the problem is that she does not show in her video how she actually glues them down. She leaves them loose. Excuse me, both the double folio that goes here, double waterfall that goes here, and the large waterfall that goes here, because you would have to put down your decorative paper, or as in my case here, the black paper. So she doesn't actually show the gluing down process. Rather, she just indicates with the tip of her glue bottle where you apply the glue. And I think from watching it repeatedly, like that little segment repeatedly over and over and over again, I think that I had it glued correctly in my prototype, which is you just leave the first crease free, and then you put glue down the other 4 little half-inch segments. So I'll show that when we get to it. And yeah, so that was why I didn't really like I thought I didn't like the this version of the waterfall, and it's still definitely not my favorite. I think it's a lot of excessive scoring and folds. Well, scoring definitely that you don't actually even ever fold. So anyway, it's not my favorite method, but I understand it a little bit better now. So we're going to start in the same order that she did things, which is with this fin, I guess we'll call it, that is the hinge for parts A and B, which is a giant, this big pouch. It's not really I think it's kind of big to be called a folder or a pocket, but it's a pouch. And I would assume that this is something that you could use for, memory keeping, like I always think of important events for these kinds of things, like a birth certificate or a marriage certificate copy, or, something like that, or, some gift card or greeting cards that you received at a shower, or, something like that, larger memorabilia, shall we say. And I did alter this a little bit from Monica's design. Let me move my microphone a little bit. Yeah, I altered this from Monica's design because she had the, excuse me, the tab cut out on this piece, which would put it at the back side when you turn this page. It will put it on this back side because you attach it to the album this way. So it would, and I didn't, that's just not my preference, I guess. I would prefer the tab to be on the front so that when you open the folio out all the way, you see a little bit better that this is a pocket rather than just a large blank page. So I will start by, I haven't even woken up my glue yet. So hopefully she's feeling fine and working good. And it's a little bit cold again today, which, like, what in the actual goes on with weather these days? So I think just as recently as yesterday, but I definitely know the day before, I had the air conditioner on and I was complaining bitterly about having to use air conditioning in February, but it was really warm. It got up in almost 80 degrees. And now, cold again. I just think it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, peeps. So I'm going to attach this one side at a time so I can get it lined up where I want it before I try to fight both sides. So, and I feel like I've glued that on there wrong, but wait. I mean, did I glue it on there wrong? Does it go this way? Does it go this way? I think it does go this way. Oh, yeah. Well, we're off to a rip-roaring start. I mean, if you hear voices in the background, you're not going crazy, and there's nothing wrong with your television or your hearing or any of that. I have the Braves spring training baseball game on, the radio in the background, because, you know, go Braves. And, yeah, so, yeah. It's my thing, man. It's my jam. Sports. Not really all sports, just baseball and football. So, and it is that time again, apparently, for spring training already. And, so, yeah, I don't think that's exactly straight. But it looks like it's not straight. So, we will very gingerly do that again. Bring this down some. So yeah, like I said, off to a rip-roaring good start so far. Let's just add a little bit more glue on here. And reposition. Sorry, I keep flipping it around, but I gotta get to a point where I can get it to go evenly. And it restuck itself. Yeah, this is how it goes with me in these projects. If you know, you know. The struggle is real here in the lair. Get the white glue on the black paper. I mean, it dries clear, but it still leaves I don't know, a difference in the like that. It just changes the color a little bit. All right. Excuse me, I need a drink. There, we'll see if that helps. Okie dokie. Glue this side down now that I have fought with the other side. This is why I only do one side at a time, because it's getting one set of papers together correctly is hard enough without having 2 points of attack, if you know what I mean. Gosh, what's going on? It's the change in weather, I'm telling you. It's too much. My immune system doesn't like it. Okay, so I'll leave that alone for a minute. I have put a crease in that I didn't intend to. So it's going to go on the whale tail like that. So that is the next thing I will do, is glue it onto the first spine, the larger spine. I mean, and if you're bold enough, you can use double-sided tape on this, but I need the wiggle time because I can't get things positioned exactly right the first time. So I need the bit of wiggle room that the wet glue provides. It does take a bit longer to dry, but I don't think we're in any danger of it warping because it is quite sturdy paper, and of course this is going on to what's that paper called? Chipboard. So yeah, I think we're safe from warping from the wet glue. All right, and then just put a little bit along the inside edges on both sides. Ooh. Try and keep it on the road, kid. Try and keep it on the road. And this side. Because we are gluing it. We are gluing it on each side of the whale tail. I try and hold it upright and long enough for the glue to to catch, so that it does not, like if you bend it to either side, I would be concerned that it would then be off center. It would favor one side over the other if you tried to, you know, lay it down flat and burnish, or, you know, smoosh the glue that way. So I just sort of give it a moment. Okay, so there is that. And the next thing we do is the angle pocket. The angle pocket, which is right here. Oops, sorry, I hit the microphone with it. So we put the angle pocket there. And again, I'm going to glue one side at a time. Put it as close to the edge as possible. Come into my hand. Okay. Oops, stuck to my jacket. All right. That went on much easier than the first element. Somebody hit a grand slam and I didn't hear whether it was the Braves or the Twins. Or, is it the Twins? I don't know. There. Okay, don't play with it too much because it'll come undone. The glue is not fully set yet. Okay, I'm gonna fold this in for you know, keep things kind of in frame. Now we will tackle these. Okay, so we did a lot of scoring on these, and as it turns out, we only needed the first 2 scores on the larger piece. So you take the second piece, and again, we only needed 1 score on each end of the middle section, which is again why I'm not really thrilled with the amount of scoring that was listed on this, but I can't and I will go back and figure out which scoring is absolutely necessary and which is not. And in my notes, should I do this again in future, I would only score at those points. So the trick in doing these is twofold: to line it up against the score in such a way that you're not obstructing the scoring, the folding, and then to also get it straight along the sides here, which I have not done a great job of doing. Maybe it's just the score line isn't all that great. So I need to burnish that down very well. And here where the 2 sections have been glued. And again, this one. Right. So, like that. And then we put the piece in the middle. It only has 1/2 inch attachment point. So obviously that's where we attach it. To the middle scored section. So right there. And again, making sure you're not obstructing the fold line and making it as straight as possible along the edges. So again, I'll fold that down. And swoosh that a little bit. Oh, wee. I mean, I know I'm going to be gluing on top of it, but don't need to be swooshing on the goodness. Ah, the twins. The twins are wincing. They hit the grand slam. Okay, so then this is what we end up with. This is the waterfall effect. So it has to be then attached from this score line down to that one. So there's all these 2 score lines were basically not necessary, these 2, for this particular piece. Except I guess that it, well, no, because I don't know. Like I said, I don't know which score lines are absolutely unnecessary. But if it was my own project, my own design, I would choose another style of waterfall. Like probably just the 6 different pieces of paper. So let's get this glued down. And this one will determine the placement for both of the waterfall elements. I'm listening out for my son. Yeah, he just walked in. Hold on. BRB. Okay, I am back. Yeah, I'm giving my garden hose to my youngest son. They're trying to do his girlfriend is quite handy with the greenery, so. And I don't, my outside water faucet thingy is not connected to the actual water that leads to the house, so it's just, obviously, I don't need it. Okay. Plus it'll be fun for, maybe they can put a sprinkler on for the children's during the summer. That'll be fun. That's always fun. Okay. So we put glue on all 3 of these little sections. And we put it into this at the second section. Move you to the side for a minute so I can get back in frame. Like that. All right, last piece of this one, and I've hidden it from myself. There it is, there it is. And once again, in the center. Ooh-wee, that's way crooked. I don't know why I keep putting it down. I need to pick it right back up again. Okay. There is that one. Bring this back. I'm trying to get them the placement that's identical top and bottom, and then this edge over here. So, yeah. And then glue from here down. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. go. Plump. See, I'm not really thrilled with how these puff up like that. And if I was clever, I'd figure out a way to sort of hold them down. But it's something I should have thought of earlier in the process to put either to put any kind of a closure on there at this point. I think it's very difficult. Maybe they'll flatten out as they get used to their new position in this world. All right, now the last bit is this large waterfall, and it's basically the same thing. We just need the first two and the last two scores on here. This is the largest piece. First and the second. There you go. And then this one. I guess I'll use that score as well, so I can get the third piece placed correctly. Okay, last piece. All right, start with the biggest two pieces, and I've already forgotten where to put the glue on all of them, I believe. Yeah, glue all the way around. Excuse the sniffles. Like I said, it's windy out there. All right, let me move this out of the way a bit more so I can squish and stuff without transferring the glue onto the book. So it goes here. Line this up with the second score line. Whee! And it's traveling. It wants to travel on me. Burnish it down real well. Alright, and then the last piece. Glue here. Come on, scoot down. right, not all right, not all right. Okay. And once again, oh, so sorry. If you can hear that alarm, so sorry. Okay. Now we glue it down in the middle section here. So it's not glued either. Here we go. Glue, 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 glue. Okay. Holding my breath. Trying to get it centered left to right. And just for looks, I want to get it a little even with that. And of course, straight would be really good. Sorry, I just bumped you with my noggin. Right. All right, so that was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. So this folds down this way, this folds in this way. Yeah, another thing I don't like about them being free falling around there. And then this. There you go. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love the idea of it. I love it. Lots of place for pictures and mementos and all of that. Oopsie, I folded it wrong. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so there it is, the completed trifold scrapbook photo album thingy. I'll come up with a better name for it than that. But, yeah, this will also be available on my Etsy shop tomorrow. And I hope you enjoyed this series. We're going to do something different for the next start to finish. And I'm very, very excited about it. So I hope you will stay tuned for the next start to finish make, which will be a little bit different. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content. Craft and enjoy, y'all. See you in the next one. Bye.